Tokyo Revengers Season 2 complete recap. Let's get into it. The season begins with Kazutora saving Takemichi from Kisaki. He then explains that Toman merged with the Black Dragons and that he was working with Chifuyu and Naoto to defeat Kisaki. Also, it turns out Mikey turned evil and murdered the rest of the founding members. Takemichi is brought to Naoto, who then arrests him. During interrogation, Naoto debriefs Takemichi on the current timeline and reveals secret video footage of Takemichi ordering Akun to murder Hinata on behalf of Kisaki. Before Takemichi is transferred to prison, Naoto urges him to travel back in time. Back in the past, Takemichi impresses Hakkai while bowling and befriends him. On the way to Hakkai's house, they run into the Black Dragons, who are welcoming the return of their leader, Taiju Shiba. The Black Dragons attempt to attack Takemichi for invading their territory, but Taiju appears and beats him up instead. Hakkai and his sister, Yuzuha, reveal that Taiju is their older brother. In exchange for Takemichi's safety, Hakkai promises to quit Toman and join the Black Dragons. Later, Chifuyu consoles Takemichi, and Takemichi reveals to him that he is a time traveler. They form a plan to prevent Hakkai from quitting at the next captain's meeting. They appeal for Hakkai, and Mikey leaves the decision to Mitsuya, who opposes Hakkai's resignation from the gang. Mitsuya meets with Taiju and agrees to let Hakkai join the Black Dragons if he promises Yuzuha is released from his abuse. At night, Hakkai declares to Takemichi and Chifuyu that he will kill Taiju. Alarmed, they attempt to rally the other Toman captains for help, but they all decline because they respect Mitsuya's decision. However, Kisaki and Hanma decide to help, using their connections to learn from an informant that Taiju will be alone in a church on Christmas Eve. Meanwhile, Mikey is still grief-stricken over Baji's death. Takemichi and Chifuyu reluctantly agree to work with Kisaki and Hanma, who want to keep their operation secret from the rest of Toman. While preparing for Christmas Eve, Takemichi learns from Hinata that she used to know Kisaki, and that they had met Takemichi in 6th grade, when he saved her from bullies. Later, Takemichi meets Hinata's father, who pressures him to break up with her due to his gang affiliations. As the day of the fight draws near, Takemichi breaks up with Hinata. At the church, Takemichi confronts Hakkai, while Kisaki, Hanma, and Chifuyu stay behind to stall Taiju. Kisaki and Hanma tie up Chifuyu and leave. Takemichi prevents Hakkai from stabbing Taiju, but Yuzuha shows up and stabs him instead. Takemichi realizes that Yuzuha killed Taiju in the original timeline, and Kisaki used this as leverage to control Hakkai. Fortunately, Takemichi's intervention causes Yuzuha to miss landing a lethal blow. Taiju gets mad and vows to kill her. Mitsuya is called in by Chifuyu and intervenes in the fight, but he is heavily wounded once Inui and Koku arrive to assist. Mitsuya forms a plan where Takemichi and Chifuyu will fight Koko and Inui, while he and Hakkai fight Taiju. However, Hakkai still fears Taiju, and Toman quickly gets taken down. Powered by his resolve, Takemichi persists against Taiju, declaring he will take over the Black Dragons. This show of bravery moves Hakkai, and he reveals that Yuzuha has been taking his beatings from Taiju instead of the other way around. Toman boosts his morale, encouraging him to help them defeat Taiju. However, Taiju, Koko, and Inui still overpower them, and the church is surrounded by 100 members of the Black Dragons. Suddenly, Mikey arrives at the church. Recalling that Mikey turned evil in the current timeline, Takemichi worries about his emotionally weak state. Inui reveals he revived the Black Dragons and recruited Taiju as its leader for his strength, but Mikey quickly defeats him and states that his friends keep him strong, reassuring Takemichi that he has changed. Taiju loses his resolve to fight after seeing that Draken has defeated all 100 Black Dragon members. Toman celebrates their victory, while Hakkai and Yuzuha vow to never submit to Taiju again. Mikey then brings Takemichi to Hinata. Takemichi and Hinata make up, with Takemichi realizing that his breakup with Hinata had caused Mikey and Draken to come to the church. Mikey tells Takemichi about his big bro and discusses their resemblances. Mitsuya and Draken reminisce on their first meeting. The whole gang then goes to the shrine to celebrate the new year. At the next meeting, Mikey announces that Inui and Koko, ex-leaders of the Black Dragons, have joined Toman under Takemichi's division. In addition, after Chifuyu's report, Mikey removes Kisaki from the gang, with Hanma and all former members of Mobius and Valhalla leaving. Afterwards, Mikey gives Takemichi a motorbike constructed with an engine that his big bro had found in the Philippines. Once Takemichi returns to the present, he suddenly finds himself attending Mitsuya's funeral. Takemichi learns from Naoto that Mikey is suspected of killing all the major members of Toman, as well as Kisaki. He finds a letter from Mikey asking him to meet him in the Philippines. Once there, Mikey confirms that after Takemichi had left Toman, he started to become more violent. He gives Takemichi a gun and requests that he kill him. However, Naoto fatally shoots Mikey instead when he threatens to shoot Takemichi. Once Takemichi returns to the past, he declares to Chifuyu that he will take over Toman in order to stop Mikey from becoming violent. Meanwhile, Tenjiku, a gang from Yokohama, initiate an attack on Toman, beginning with Takemichi and his division. During their escape, Takemichi is eventually cornered by Tenjiku and encounters Kisaki, who has joined the gang. Now you should be completely caught up with everything from Season 2. Enjoy Season 3. We're hyped!